Before we jump into this episode, we'd like to invite you to join our community to hear more interviews to make you more healthier, wealthier, and more motivated.
All we want you to do is hit that subscribe button so we can get bigger and better guests. Is that a deal?
So, Dr. Asif, what's your opinion on feminism?
Good question. What do you call it? Icebreaker.
Yeah.
What's my view on feminism? Good question. My view on feminism is probably been shared a lot in the tabloids, but in my own words, my view on feminism is it's a reactionary movement to patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
So patriarchy was and still is the dominant force in many parts of the world. Islam is patriarchal. Alhamdulillah for that. But patriarchy was the norm in the West for many centuries, right? You know, if you look at Victorian ages, Elizabethan times, the times of Henry VIII, etc., that was the dominant social norm. Feminism is a reactionary movement. If you look at first wave feminism, second wave feminism, neo-feminism, radical feminism, etc., since the 1950s and 60s, post-Second World War, feminism has been a reactionary movement to what they see as oppressive patriarchy. And in many ways, I do agree with the reaction, because patriarchy in the West was very oppressive. Women didn't have rights to vote. Women didn't have rights to go to school. Women didn't have rights to consent to marriage. Women didn't have rights to inherit land. Completely opposite of what Islam teaches. Islam says women all have to be educated. Women do have voting rights. Women don't have to take the name of the husband. Women do have rights to inheritance and property, etc.
Yeah.
So patriarchy in the West was very oppressive. Hence why a reactionary movement called feminism spawned. But what I'm concerned about is when Muslim women take up feminism, because we've got a perfect example of in Islam. As in Islam, the Islamic paradigm is beautifully liberating for women. So why adopt a ideologically inferior paradigm, i.e. feminism, when you've got Islam, which is more superior?
Yeah. So
it's like going Waitrose on Aldi. If you got free food vouchers, why would you go to Aldi when you got Waitrose?
Yeah. So would you consider yourself a feminist?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
And Islam actually gives women more rights, but in the right kind of way than feminism does. Feminism has this mirage of equality. It's only a mirage, by the way. Islam doesn't believe in equality. Islam believes in equity. There's a big difference. Feminism believes in equality. But you can't be equal though, because we're physiologically different, we're anatomically different, psychologically different. So the equality is a myth. It's a false dichotomy. You can't actually have equality. Islam believes in equity, and that's beautiful. So I believe in equity. So if you're thinking about it from equity point of view, then I'm very much pro women's rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, God Almighty has ordained for women, rights of inheritance, rights of women are entitled to 1/4 and 1/8 respectively of the husbands, their fathers' wealth, etc. In the West, 50 years ago, women were entitled to 0. So I believe in women's rights in accordance with what God has ordained.
So you agree with feminism in terms of agreeing with women's rights, but you may not agree entirely with how they come across.
Yeah, absolutely, because the moral compass is skewed. So if you look at feminism from a secular point of view, it's a secular liberal movement. Mm-hmm. It goes hand in hand with communism. Okay, so on the political spectrum, you've got left-leaning political ideologies like feminism, communism, socialism, etc. They're very left-leaning. They're almost very secular. They don't believe in religion. They believe religion controls. Then you've got the right end of the political spectrum, which believes in control, believes in law and order, believes in religion, conservative values. Feminism's on the left. It doesn't believe in any law and order. It believes in, you can do anything you want. You can have a right to abortion. You can have a right to whatever you want. You can have a right to gender change. You can have a right to, everything equal. So that's what feminism believes in. So, but you got to see feminism in the macro lens. The macro lens is socialism, liberalism, secularism. Feminism's firmly placed within that social paradigm. So I don't believe in any of that. I obviously believe in religion. I believe in law and order. I believe in, corporal punishment, capital punishment. I believe in, hierarchy. I believe in gender roles. I believe in structure, right? Without structure, society will crumble. You can't have no structure.
Yeah. So you mentioned you believe in gender roles. So do you agree with like the rainbow flag, for example?
That's a very good question. So as a Muslim, no. So as a Muslim, we've got strong, a belief system with regard to gender. So gender is dichotomous, male and female.
Yeah.
Islam believes in, just like all the religions, right? Christianity, Judaism. As a Muslim, we do not believe in anything other than heterosexuality. That's what's
almost
ordained.
slipped up there.
Yes, exactly. But yeah. So we've got definitive verdicts on this.
Yeah,
Drinking, sex before marriage, homosexuality in Islam, these are sins, and we shouldn't be ashamed of saying that. We are Muslims.
Yeah.
These are sinful actions in Islam.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the good thing about our religion, Islam. I feel like it's got like a set of rules, so it can kind of guide you, and like it's almost like a backbone. So as long as you follow the rules and stay true to it, it kind of helps you in that way.
Yeah, exactly. And we shouldn't mince our words. Like Islam is not an aggressive or an oppressive religion. It's a structured religion. It gives you a structure, and we need structure.
Yeah.
When that, even animals need structure. If you see a herd, like a shepherd, and he's got a herd of animals, he needs to structure them in a line. Otherwise, they go all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Same as humans. We are animals to a certain extent. We need structure in our life.
Yeah.
Social structure, we need it. We need hierarchy, etc. Otherwise, imagine the janitor trying to be a brain surgeon and the brain surgeon trying to be Uber driver. It wouldn't work, right? You got to have hierarchy in the, you got to have structure, hierarchy. And this is a beautiful thing about Islam. It gives people roles and it gives people rights as well, roles and rights, responsibilities and rights, not just rights. Feminism is all about rights. It's not about responsibilities. And that's what feminism really misses the point. It's all about women's rights. But what about responsibilities? Islam teaches both.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you've had a lot of TV appearances. 4 years ago, you were on Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
How was your pitch against the Dragons, especially Tuka Suleiman?
My boy Tuka. So Tuka didn't. He was the least complimentary. I think the other Dragons were complimentary in the sense that they appreciated where I came from. Tuka tried to attack my credentials in terms of why am I doing it? Why are you launching a smoothie? Why are you particularly? Yeah. And I thought my story was quite compelling. I'm a doctor. I know about nutrition. I know about physiology. So this is why I'm making a smoothie. So it's a bit more gravitas and a bit more credibility than just Tuka making a smoothie. Yeah. So when he said Tuka smoothie, and he tried to imply what's the difference between his smoothie and my smoothie, I tried to say, like, who are you? Like, I'm a doctor. Yes, I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a dietitian. Yeah. I'm not a businessman, but I'm a doctor. So my smoothie will generally have a bit more science behind it. So we aren't the same in that sense. And that's why I was a bit annoyed. But in the end, it was good. Like, good experience for me.
Yeah, but I think one of them was going to invest. It looks like Jenny was the last one.
Jenny was good. I like Jenny. Jenny. She actually did say she will buy the smoothies from me. Not invest, but actually buy some from me. So yeah, she was impressed.
And what about the lift? Does that go up or down?
I don't think it goes anywhere. It's just a studio, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's a bit like Apprentice as well, is that?
Yeah, exactly. It's all a studio. So studios are made to look like, boardrooms or like the Den, etc. But it's all a studio.
Okay, yeah. So Apprentice. So your time at the Apprentice, how was that then?
Apprentice is tougher than Dragon's Den because you're living with people. Yeah. Dragon's Den is you wake up, you get makeup on, you put your suit on, you pitch and you go back home.
Yeah, it's like a 2-second thing really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And whereas Apprentice, you go back, you throw your colleagues under the bus, you go back to the house.
So Lord Sugar grilling you, yeah?
Grilling you, it mauls you, rips you to shreds, and then you got to go back to the house, pick yourself up, and have 1 day off and go back to another task. Yeah. Whereas Dragon's Den is literally in and out in 1 day.
In and out, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. It's fine,
But is it auditions as well, or is it?
Yeah, it's auditions. Yeah. So it's similar to The Apprentice. You got to audition. There's an application form. They check your business plan. They check your product. In The Apprentice, it's tougher though because there's 80,000 applicants, and you get grilled in the first interview stage. So Lord Sugar's advisors are there in the interview stage.
What, Claude is that?
No, it's not Claude. It's guys similar to Claude.
He's a scary one, isn't it?
Yeah, Claude is very scary. So these are like old men who have been with him for ages, very, very long time, and they grill your business plan. So you've got a producer, and then you've got a Lord Sugar business aide, because Lord Sugar's very keen on weeding out influencer wannabe guys.
Yeah,
because that's happened before, right?
Okay, people probably just want to come on TV.
Yeah,
just get
TV,
Showtime,
but yeah, so he has business for the last few years. He's had business advisors.
Yeah,
actually at the auditions.
So they want like serious people.
And they ask you about projections. Why you show me your background? Tell me your forecasts, etc.
So I just want to know: is it like so obviously it's a business show, right? But is there some sort of influence in terms of what you like, your creative freedom and stuff like that? Is it like, can you be like 100% yourself, or is there a certain narrative that is kind of pushed?
No, I think you can be yourself, but
Yeah.
creative freedom doesn't necessarily apply when it comes to designing logos. I don't know if you saw episode 2, but
Yeah.
because you kind of limited by what people say, what's available, the timing as well. So you don't really have pure creative freedom, but you have freedom of expression for your own viewpoints, etc.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to express your own viewpoints. You can fight in the boardroom. You can be bitchy in the boardroom. You can be good cop, bad cop, whatever you want to play. You can play that in the boardroom.
All right. Yeah. Because you've been in the last 3, was it? So obviously you being in the last 3, and then like you didn't get fired, so you went back to the house, and then when you're in the last 3, you're kind of battling it out, right?
Yeah.
So when you're going back to the house and you see the guy you're battling with, so what was that whole experience like?
You know what? You only see a bit of it because we have to wait in the taxi for ages.
Yeah.
We've got to wait in the taxi for the girls to finish their treat.
Okay.
The girls, they went for their treat.
Yeah.
Or the girls, they went for their treat. They came back. We had to wait for them.
So it's a cut, basically.
Yeah. So me and Phil in the last episode, we had to wait in the taxi for a long time. We had to wait.
You were in the same taxi, was it?
Yeah, the same taxi.
Okay.
You had to wait for everyone to come back. So the awkward silence is in the taxi because you're with the guy you tried to fire.
Yeah.
He's in the taxi with you. That's awkward. Very awkward.
I think you also said like fire them both.
Yeah,
Get rid of them.
exactly. And that was sort of awkward. But I was angry, genuinely angry, because I don't know why he brought me back.
Yeah.
And you could see on my face. Actually, I watched it today again. I didn't see it properly when it aired.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Asif, we were so angry, like red face as well, because I'm like, fire them both.
Yeah.
Because I was annoyed he brought me back. I genuinely thought I didn't deserve to go back, because one of his points was Asif did okay in the kitchen. And I think okay is okay. It's okay for a novice, right?
Yeah.
You can't do more than okay. Like, I'm not a chef, and I didn't do anything outstanding, but I didn't necessarily do anything to warrant me being in the boardroom as well. So I think that was unfair to bring me back.
Yeah.
So that's why I was very annoyed. You obviously want to, go through to week 8, 9 without having to be in the boardroom, but that's not realistic, because people will bring you back, and they'll find the smallest faults in you to bring you back.
So did you have any other like disputes and stuff like that in the Apprentice?
Not really. So this week teams get mixed. Watch it.
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
Talking about feminism. Watch that one.
Is that a hint? Yeah.
So you talk about masculinity a lot. What's your definition on masculinity?
Masculinity is a man who has boundaries, a man who knows where he's heading, a man who doesn't simp, a man who has an abundance mindset, a man who attracts and builds and constructs, not chases.
Okay.
That's my definition.
So you mentioned simp. So what do you mean by that?
Simping is men who pedestalize women.
Yeah.
And often very average women. Like the girl's is 5 or 6, and he's like treating her like she's a 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the guy. He's got a very scarcity mindset. He can't do any better.
Yeah.
He's not in shape. He can't do anything else. He doesn't have game. He can't speak. He doesn't have social kind of calibration. He's very socially uncalibrated and socially not very savvy. So he pedestalizes very average women, and that's called simping. So there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with loving, by the way. Loving is fine. Like, obviously love if you got the right woman. But simping is where a guy, for very little return, he goes beyond and above. We'll see it tomorrow on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So why do you think people do that then? Why do you think people like become simps?
Because lack of self-respect and lack of awareness of their value. And it goes back to what I said, the definition of masculinity, a man on purpose. Simps don't have a purpose. Their purpose is women.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if they have a purpose, you are the purpose. You are your purpose. Self-improvement. You're improving in every aspect of your life. So therefore you don't have time to pedestalize women. Women are just essentially a sprinkle on the cake. They aren't the cake. They aren't the cake themselves. They're the sprinkle on the cake. But a lot of guys I feel this void without women. So they chase and chase and chase, and women can sense that because the guy's desperate.
So how can someone realize that they are a simp and improve on themselves?
Good question. You got to ask yourself, who makes the decisions in that relationship? If you say, okay, tomorrow we're moving to Turkey, what would she say? If she says no, then probably a simp.
Do you reckon the 4 Bs are important? The ones you always mention.
4 Bs are hugely important.
Why are they important?
You got to groom well and look well.
Yeah.
You got to lift, be in shape. You have to be business savvy in today's world, whether that's starting a podcast, writing a book, having a course, some sort of business, right?
Yeah.
And the fourth B is brains. You got to always upskill. You got to, learn, read, travel. Traveling is a form of upskilling because you're learning about cultures.
Yeah.
So 4 B's are very important. The 5th B is bollocks as well. I say 6 B's, big bollocks. It's important to have,
What's the best way to learn? What do you reckon? Reading, social media, what do you...
Okay, reading is good.
Yeah.
Reading's good. Probably the best way. Honestly, I would, it's not guessing you guys up, but podcast is a great way to learn. Like, podcast is fantastic.
But watching,
not watching, always listening.
Just listening.
Yeah, like Chris Williamson, Stephen Bartlett. I've learned years and years of stuff from a few hours of their podcasts. Because essentially, in 1 hour of a podcast, you've got 20 years worth of knowledge. Because that person, that guest, that author who's making a guest appearance, he's gonna drop 20 years of wisdom in 1 hour.
In 1 hour, yeah.
I feel like it's easier to listen to. So, like, let's say you're driving somewhere or you're doing something else and you listen to a podcast, you're kind of gaining the knowledge while you're doing something else.
You're dropping bombs, literally.
Gems,
man. Just absolute bangers. And that's the only thing he knows. He knows only about sleep, or he only knows about intermittent fasting. He only knows about this or psychology.
Yeah.
He or she's going to drop 20 years of absolute gems in 1 hour. So podcast is a great way to fast forward your learning.
That's where I saw you on Instagram. I think you were dropping gems on the reels.
Gems.
About Islam, about motivation, and a lot on health as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
As a doctor, what's your views on gym, motivation?
Doctors should be fit. I believe in that. Doctors should be in shape. You wouldn't trust a dentist with bad teeth.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You wouldn't trust a skinny chef. He doesn't know how to cook, right? Skinny chef. Same as
he's not trying his own food.
Exactly. Same as the doctor who's out of shape. He should be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should be Chris Hemsworth, Dr. Asif physiques, right? You're not saying that, but it should be in good shape, definitely. Because you know enough about the human body.
Yeah.
To know about diet, sleep, particularly sleep, drinking, alcohol, smoking. You know enough about the damaging effects of that to not do it on your own self.
Yeah, I think in particular, probably most importantly, like your actual health, like your heart health.
Yes. Like
the inside of your body more so than the outside. I feel like that's why fitness and stuff like that is probably more important.
Yeah, exactly.
As a doctor, a lot of people would come to you for depression. What do you think today's main causes are of depression?
Okay, there's two things, okay? The second has been exacerbated by TikTok or social media, and that's comparison. But the first thing, okay, is lack of purpose. Why are people waking up? People don't genuinely have a reason to wake up.
Yeah.
Like, job they don't like. They don't have a hobby, a passion, something that fuels the fire in their stomach. They don't have that burning desire in their stomach to wake up and do something.
Yeah.
It's lack of purpose causing men. Well, I'll speak about men generally, but causing people
to go into depression.
Depression, yeah. The other thing, which is often overlooked, is financial difficulties. Finances make a huge impact. There's actually a very good book called Psychology of Money. Yeah. People in debt versus people out of debt. Your whole mindset changes.
Yeah.
So finances is a huge burden, particularly to men. Wanting to provide for their families, etc. That's a huge burden, and that's a really big cause of mental health, particularly anxiety.
Yeah.
And burnout.
Yeah. So you mentioned some people are lacking purpose. So how can someone improve on that if they think like they wake up and they don't know why they're waking up?
So two things. There's something called the meaning of life and the purpose of life. Okay. The meaning of life is to find what you're good at. What's your calling? What's your gifting? What has God given you as a gift? Are you good at speaking? Are you good at writing? Are you good at performing? Are you good with people? What are you good at? That's your gift. The meaning of life is to find that. For some people, that's football, that's sports, whatever. Yeah. The purpose of life is to give that away. And people often don't even get to the first stage. They don't even find what they're good at. Never mind give it away. So you have to find what you're good at. And that requires a lot of introspection. And it's harder than ever before now because we're living in a distracted world. We've got so much noise outside.
Social media.
Exactly.
Everything.
All these noises, right? So to find that meaning, that inner calling, that gifting, you got to look inside. You got to drown out all the noise. But that's harder than ever before. Really is hard.
Nowadays,
Yeah, before you'd go away for a weekend You know, like all the famous poets and writers, they'd go to the Lake District for 2 days, and they'd write a novel or something like that. Now you can't do that because the phone's there. So it's harder than ever before to find your gifting.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, actually. So what's your opinion on social media?
Social media is good and bad. It's like a knife, right? A knife can save someone's life if it's used by a surgeon.
Yeah.
But it could also kill someone. So social media is like that. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think it's good to share gems. You can share, lots of value there.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you can consume and not create. You guys are mashallah creating.
Yeah.
So you can create value.
So be a producer, not consumer.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. So be a creator, be a producer, give value. Don't just consume. Okay. So if you use social media to doom scroll, mindlessly doom
Waste
scroll,
of time. Waste of time.
and you're messing with
Be
your
there
dopamine.
all day.
I put a story up 2 days ago about addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction is essentially dopamine deficiency, right? Any addiction, particularly pornography, because your dopamine receptors get fired.
What about music?
So it's an
Music,
addiction as well.
thing,
Comedy.
Yeah.
People want to laugh, and people want to laugh these days, really.
Okay, the thing is, you talk about depression there,
Yeah.
and today's society, I would say, and I'm going to put my neck on the line here. Okay, give you guys some clickbait.
Go on.
But this is me putting my neck on the line.
Yeah.
Majority of today's people are not happy. They are distracted from sadness.
Okay.
And so distracted with music, with comedy, with alcohol, pornography, TikTok.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
innit,
Exactly.
Basically.
So they're not really happy, are they? They're just
Yeah.
distracted from their
Get that
sadness.
dopamine boost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the mask people are putting on.
Yeah.
They actually they actually do not know they're upset or sad.
Okay.
Because why they're sad? Because there's a void there, the vacuum there of lack of purpose. But they're filling that with TikTok and dopamine hits. So they're not actually...
So they're unaware of the sadness.
Exactly, because they keep feeling it. So they are not happy. They are just distracted from sadness.
Okay.
And that's the pandemic, man. I've seen that last 10 years, particularly last 10 years with TikTok and Snapchat.
Yeah, I feel like-
them two, by the way, Snapchat and TikTok are the worst.
Yeah, I feel like it's affected people where it's affected their attention span as well.
Exactly.
So now I feel like a lot of people, they can't, for longer than 10 seconds, they just have to, it's almost like TikTok, isn't it?
Yeah, them two, Snapchat and TikTok are the worst. Instagram was essentially a photo sharing app. Then, Reels came out afterwards. TikTok used to be called Musical.ly.
More dancey.
Yeah,
entertainment.
it was all 8-second clips, right? That's what it was. So 8 seconds.
Even I think, was it Vine as well before that?
Vine, exactly. So
there was that.
Yeah, these things are instant, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think this Gen Z, their dopamine receptors are fired. And these guys, no wonder why, a lot of them don't want to go to university. Because they can't. They don't have the ability to concentrate for 3 years.
Yeah, so, some lectures are also very informative, and sometimes you'll sit there for 2 hours listening to the lecturer, and if you can't sit there for 10-20 seconds, how are you going to do 2 hours?
Exactly. But you mentioned my Instagram reels, etc.
Yeah.
And as content creators, we have to adapt.
Do you edit them yourself, or you have?
No, I've got an editor.
What team?
Yeah.
So I've seen them. They're fire. They're quick.
We try to make movies within the clips.
Yeah,
so that's what we do. So we try to condense as much value in 8 seconds. And nobody does it like we do. We try to put so much value, a entry, a hook, a dip. We call it a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
A good, a good, bad, good. We're trying to give value though, actually genuine value.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never done a dance video. I don't put music in any of my videos. I just put nasheeds.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sins. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
I want to give free value. Just free value.
Yeah.
How to lose weight, how to pray, how to strengthen your mindset, how to do this, how to quit this. Just free value. Just take it.
What makes you disciplined and motivated on a daily basis? What do you think that discipline comes from?
Memento mori. You know what that means?
Can you explain that?
Yeah. Memento mori. Think about it. Memento. I remember.
Is that Latin?
Yeah. Mori. Yes. Mori is death. Mortal. Mori.
Yeah.
Remember you'll die. So it's only the disciplined lives which make a difference.
Yeah.
So the lives which are haphazard, scattered everywhere, they won't make a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? You've got to be disciplined.
Yeah, also because that one day you might die.
Exactly.
And you're probably gonna be thinking a lot of people are thinking that this guy had so much potential. He could have done this, he could have done that, he could have done that, but
exactly.
you never know when your
you don't
time's up.
You don't want to be a could have been.
Yeah, exactly.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Them guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
Did you hear the news of the Kenyan marathon runner on the weekend? 24 years old. He died. world record holder. He did a marathon
crazy.
in 2 hours. 2 hours, I think 2 hours and 3 seconds. The world record holder, 24 years old, just died on last Sunday. Car crash, 24.
That's sad.
And he would have been the best ever.
The best ever?
Yeah, he would have been the best ever.
What was he like? Was he marathon?
He marathon runner, yeah. Even more
okay.
Farah said he would have been the best. This guy would have been the best ever.
Would beat
24.
Mo Farah, yeah.
Yeah. He was amazing. But he died 24, and people die, man. Car crashes, a helicopter crash.
Any age, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
So
never
any
know.
age, and I've seen that as a doctor. I've seen not even accidents, but I've seen illnesses. Or a bit of a headache. Got to find out he's got a ocular tumor, a brain tumor. He's got a rectal tumor, whatever. 6 months to live. Honestly, in their 30s.
That's crazy.
You just don't know.
So do you think age is related to death, or?
Generally, it is, but with cancer, you just never know. Anyone can get cancer. Look at Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Was in his 50s, got pancreatic cancer, died. So anyone can get cancer at a young age.
So would you encourage people to be? So how would you encourage people to be more, more healthier? Like, would you tell them to focus more on food, or like?
I think they say if you want fill the bucket, stop the leaks first. Don't fill the bucket first.
Yeah.
Stop the leaks. Patch up the leaks.
Yeah.
So why are you leaking? Yeah, shisha, sugar. If you're drinking, if you're smoking, sleeping at 2 a.m. in the morning, eating burgers, stop the leaks first.
Okay.
So stop the bad habits. Then fill it with good habits. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So stop the bad habits, whatever the bad habits are.
Train hard as well.
Train hard,
Train hard.
man. Push your body every day.
Yeah. I try to go every day now. Just train every day.
Yeah, make it non-negotiable.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Like your salah, non-negotiable. You cannot not do it.
Yeah.
Training is the same. Your body has a right to be trained.
Definitely.
Your soul has a right for you to pray. There's a right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, we talked about rights and responsibilities. Feminism.
Yeah.
Feminism only cares about women's rights.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about women's responsibilities.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You, as a sapient being, have a responsibility over your body's rights over you.
Yeah.
So your body has a right for you to go sleep on time. Your body has a right for you to drink enough water. Your soul has a right for you to pray.
Yeah. So what do you think is the best time to go sleep then, in your opinion?
Okay, definitely before midnight. I would say if you can, 10:30, 11.
10:30, 11.
I'll wake up at 5, 6.
8 hours minimum, isn't it, really?
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, that kind of range.
So is that like the optimum, like
Yeah,
the best
6
time?
to 8, yeah.
That's what you advise, yeah?
Definitely not less than 6.
Not less than 6, okay.
Yeah.
So more than 6, yeah. 4.
6 to 8, yeah. 7, 6 and a half sometimes. Depends. Sometimes I get 8 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually not more than 8.
It depends when you've got work, isn't it, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Some people have to work different
What
times.
about for people that will sleep longer? So what about like if you 10 to 12? Would that be
That's too much.
too much, yeah?
That's too much. Yeah.
Over-
12 hours is too much.
Too
Oversleeping,
much.
yeah?
So
Yeah.
is there any damaging effects to that then, oversleeping?
Damaging effects, probably, I don't know, not damaging in that sense. You could maybe become lazy and,
Yeah.
you're missing out on, imagine
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sleeping 12 hours instead of 8 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've got 10 years less of life, essentially.
Yeah.
10 years less, like, living.
When you put it like that, when you put it into perspective,
Yeah,
it kind of opens your eyes a little bit.
exactly.
So you talk about Islam, I was going to say. So what are the benefits of praying for like Muslims and non-Muslims?
Benefits of praying is it gives your day structure. I structure all my day around my prayers. Morning, evening, afternoon. So it gives you structure firstly. And I mentioned earlier with the example of the shepherd and the herd.
Yeah.
We need to have, even animals need to have structure. They need to go in the line. I don't know if you've seen goats or whatever.
Yeah.
You need to go in the line and then they go straight.
That's straight, yeah.
You need to have structure, right? And Allah's given us that structure through prayer. Salah is a perfect structure to your day. Otherwise, the day just goes. Another day goes. And even the way the Islamic week is broken up, Friday is your weekend, is your holy day, is your Eid, right? Friday is the Eid for the believer. So the whole week is broken up. So prayer gives you discipline. Prayer gives you focus, because I try my best to be focused in prayer, and definitely improves my focus at work. If I can focus 5 times a day,
That helps with your mental stability.
exactly, because you're meditating 5 times a
Yeah.
day, not just in the morning like most people do. You're just meditating 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Because you are focused on that single, I wouldn't say, okay, meditation is a bad word. You are mindful 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Mindful.
I feel like it kind of grounds you as well. So like, let's say you're
exactly.
like working or you're doing something else, and then all of a sudden when you're praying, then you kind of realize, oh, this is my true purpose.
Exactly.
So you kind of get reminded in a sense.
And Allah says, we created man to worship me and jinn. You know, that's the sole purpose of life. So it's a wonderful reminder. I'll literally drop us a graveyard on the way here, and I had the Quran on.
Yeah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, which I think it's Surah Al-Mu'minun.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful the way Allah, you know, because these are Allah's divine words. And it talks about, we gave life to death. Yahya Mut, you know, like we gave life to death, and literally drop off the graveyard as that was being said.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, death is also a creation of Allah.
Yeah.
Death is a creation of Allah. Allah created death, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's a process of going into the next portal of existence. But Allah gave death life, you know, because death wouldn't exist without Allah. So Allah made death come to life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a beautiful thing to understand, because you understand your life is finite. And the example I give is, if your mum sends you to buy some onions, or for instance, and you come back with orange juice, the best orange juice, you come back with the best strawberries, and you come back with the best chocolate. And you're like, Mum, look, I've got all this stuff. But your mum's like, no. But Dad, I sent you to get onions. And but you got everything else though.
Yeah.
So it's exactly what Allah sent you to on this earth, to worship Him.
Yeah.
But you've accomplished everything else, but you're not done what you came here for.
That's the purpose.
Because that's the purpose. Do everything else afterwards, of course. Or do it alongside it, but do not forget what you're here for.
Definitely, yeah.
So remember the onions next time, yeah?
Yeah, the onions, yeah. So let's talk cash flow. How many income streams do you have?
6, 7.
6. What would you say is like your highest?
Coaching. So I do one-to-one coaching. Yeah.
Okay.
So inshallah, looking at doing some programs. It's hard to automate coaching because people want to book with me.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at getting some courses, inshallah. 6 modules courses, mindset, money, muscle, all that kind of stuff, marriage, etc. 6 courses where I just speak 1 hour. I've pre-recorded it, put it on school or Udemy, etc.
Yeah.
And then people just download it. So I want one-to-one coaching. I've got books. I've got a couple of books. One's called Mentality Monster.
Okay.
One's a medical school book as well. I've got Instagram, so I monetize that. So I've got subscribers on there.
Okay.
Badges. Sometimes you earn badges as well. YouTube's not monetized yet. That's the next stage, inshallah.
Yeah.
I obviously got my medical. So I sometimes work as a doctor. Online merchandise. We got some merchandise.
Okay.
The 5 Bs.
Yeah.
5 Bs, yeah.
5 Bs, we got that.
So you're not a doctor anymore though?
I still work occasionally.
You still
I worked
work,
a few
okay.
weeks ago, yeah. But it's hard now because I'm on the Apprentice. So people are Dr. Asif, so
Yeah.
I have to keep a low profile there.
So you used to be full time before, and now you.
No, I was part-time before.
Part-time before,
but yeah,
okay.
but now I'm less than part-time.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 6, 7, and then we've got a collagen supplement range,
Yeah.
which is what we do.
Where are you from anyway? As in,
I have a guess.
Sheffield.
up north.
Oh yeah, Sheffield. Yeah.
Sheffield, yeah.
It's the same, yeah.
Nassim Hamid, legend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Been looking up to him when he was young, yeah.
Of course, man. He was a local G. So he went to my school as well.
Yeah.
So Nassim, like I say, unapologetically Muslim.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Wear it on your sleeve. You know, we're Muslims, alhamdulillah. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Now going back to my previous question, so we were talking about income. So did you get paid from The Apprentice?
You get paid, yeah. You get paid to buy your suits. You get paid £500 at the beginning.
Okay.
Then you get paid £1,000 when it airs.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much, but
So you don't get like any salary or anything. So you just get paid for the suits.
you take unpaid leave. You actually
Okay.
you lose out. You make a lot of money back though with business and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's on national TV and BBC, obviously, he's going
Yeah,
to
so
get a lot of
you get free marketing, right?
free marketing,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't get paid as such, but you get a lot of marketing afterwards. Free marketing, so people inquire about your products. People inquire about
Yeah.
your services, merchandise, etc.
You get a lot of inquiries now. That's
Yeah,
good.
you get some weird ones as well.
Yeah.
weird ones, man.
What, marriage ones, yeah?
Marriage ones and like men hitting on you and
Men hitting on you.
and, aunties and all that kind of stuff.
What about like hate? Do you get like hate and
yeah,
stuff
of
like
course, yeah, loads of hate.
that? Yeah.
Loads of hate. Yeah.
On social media or?
Social media trolls, Twitter,
But you were on The Sun as well. What was that all about?
Sun, Daily Mirror, and all that
They were
stuff.
saying, they was
Yeah.
talking about you about something. I can't remember what it was.
They're talking about, because I did a podcast a few months ago, and I, because I do coaching, like I said.
Yeah.
So I coach a lot of Muslim divorced men. So I'm like, look, you've been bitten once in the UK. Why do because as Muslims we're supposed to be savvy, right?
Yeah.
Rasul told us do not get bit from the same hole twice.
Yeah.
So if you got married in the UK You got divorced. Feminism, obviously, in the UK, is in the West, particularly in the West. France, etc. They're very big on feminism. So why marry again from the UK? Like, you're better off marrying from Pakistan or Bangladesh, or if you don't want to go back there 8 hours, you can go 3 hours to Morocco. Get a Muslim woman. And that was my encouragement. If you want to get married to a Muslim woman who's gonna give you a bit more peace, right? It was not a feminist. And the Sun and tabloids picked that up and said Dr. Asif's misogynistic, and he's telling brothers to get married over there. And I am telling brothers to get married over there, but I don't run a service. I don't run no dating app or whatever.
So did they say you run a service?
No, I don't. I've run a coaching service. Yes.
Okay.
I coach men.
Coach people.
I coach people. One big part of coaching is getting brothers married. So look, you can go. Here's a flight, Luton Airport, whatever. I don't actually run anything. I just tell brothers this.
Just advising people.
Yeah, exactly. I just advise people. Because brothers don't know. They are honestly. When I see these guys, they're sleeping on the couch in their mum's house. Honestly, they're sleeping in their couch, or sleeping in a van or whatever. Woman's taking everything.
Yeah.
So for them to get and they miss. The 7-8 years with that woman, they're like, obviously men need women, right? It's our nature. I'm like, okay. Probably don't want to get married in the West again, so get married. You need to get married.
Yeah.
And one big part of your recovery is getting married again.
Yeah.
Because they miss their kids. Have more children, right? Have more children.
Yeah.
Get married again. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting married again.
Yeah. So obviously, if you're getting hate and you're getting hate from trolls and stuff like that online, so how would you deal with that?
Ignore.
So you should ignore.
Yeah, ignore them. And most of the trolls are faceless. They don't have any kind of profile picture or any name. Some of them do have names.
Fake accounts.
Fake accounts, but some of them do have names.
Burner accounts.
Yeah. And some of them have names and profile picture. They actually
they have the actual full name.
They're actually legit guys. But then I go on their profile and they're only about one thing. They're just about the gym, or they're just about medicine, or they're just about business. And I'm like, you're hating because I'm revealing your insecurities. You know what I mean? Because you're just about one thing. That's your entire personality. Cars, or gym, or medicine. That's your one thing. And I've come along with the 4 Bs, and you're insecure now. So I take it with a pinch of salt.
We'll end it on our final question. We'll wrap this podcast up. What makes you happy?
Makes me happy? Very good question. Praying. Yeah, praying. Because that's my meeting with my Lord.
Yeah.
Every day. I'll speak to him. That makes me very happy.
Thank you for coming on, Dr. Asif, on our podcast. And if anyone wants to follow you, how can they follow you?
Yeah, Dr. Asif Official on Instagram, and YouTube, Dr. Asif Munaf on TikTok. And also on Twitter as well, Dr. Asif Official. DrAsifMunaf.com, my webpage, where we've got our supplement range. So follow me and Dr. Asif Munaf across socials.
So it's been a lovely conversation. It's been good talking to you, brother. I hope nothing but the best for you in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And any last words, any final words to the audience?
Keep going, man. Cashflow. Yeah, follow these guys.
That's it.
Cashflow Convos. They've had Apprentice guy on before as well. So keep smashing it, man. I think you got a good idea. Mash your two brothers as well.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any more national TV appearances from you? Or is that it?
Maybe Love Island.
Make sure you check out Dr. Asif.
What, in Morocco, yeah?
Check his socials out. And that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Coming on.
Take care.
Take care.